This is an examination of the hidden human condition.
This is the Hidden Killers Podcast.
The Hidden Killers Podcast.
With Tony Brueski.
A Minnesota woman allegedly killed and dismembered by boyfriend. He has been charged with the murder. Everybody and their dismemberment. I don't know.
Doesn't it seem like it happens all the time?
And I don't think, is this a trend? Is this what the kids are doing now? But it seems like it has been, everybody's cutting everybody up when they kill each other. It's not just hide the body.
I think it's easier to get rid of the body that way, but they obviously don't take into account things like odor. You know,
well, and if you cut open the body, you're going to get the mess, and it's going to stain things, and there's DNA then on things that otherwise wouldn't be. Plus, I don't know. Number one, I don't know how it would be to kill somebody. I can't wrap my mind about doing that unless it's like a really horrible human being that deserves to go. But if you're just, your friend, your spouse.
You're saving your life or your family's life or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're like killing like a child predator, I'm cool. like that's fine. But this is not that. And then to not only get your mind around doing that to someone, but then to have to cut them up. That to me, I don't like squirm at blood or anything, but I certainly don't like watching. I don't like watching surgeries or anything like that. That always gets me. Bleh. So I cannot imagine doing that to a body, whether it's someone you hate or not. Yeah, exactly. Especially someone you cared about. And, I don't know.
But my God, this was your girlfriend. You knew this woman intimately.
Prosecutors have arrested Joseph Jorgenson. He's a 40-year-old man from Minnesota claiming that he killed and dismembered his girlfriend, Manijeh Starren, otherwise known as Manny, who vanished in April in St. Paul. Starren, 34, had been missing for 2 months. Based on compelling evidence, officials allege that Joseph Jorgenson concealed Starren's remains in 2 coolers and a duffel bag, storing them in a storage unit. Security footage captured Jorgenson forcefully grabbing Starren and pushing her into her apartment on April 21st. Heartbreakingly, Starren was never seen alive again. Suspicion grew stronger when it was revealed that Jorgenson entered and exited her apartment a staggering 28 times between April 21st and April 28th. The witnesses claim that they have observed Jorgenson leaving the apartment on April 28th, loading 2 duffel bags and a suitcase into a pickup truck. During a press conference, St. Paul Sergeant Mike Ernster highlighted the concerning circumstances surrounding the case. Jorgenson is the only one that comes out of that unit, and Manny is never seen again, stated Sergeant Ernster. Disturbingly, Jorgenson chose not to report Starren's disappearance to the police and carried on with his life without notifying anyone. The family of Manny Starren, alarmed by her prolonged absence, contacted the police May 1st to file a missing persons report. The report expressed their concerns about Starren's safety, revealing that she had been afraid of Jorgenson. The last time they spoke with her, she exhibited paranoia and fear. According to the affidavit, Starren had confided in her son's father, disclosing an incident in which Jorgenson had wrapped a rope around her neck. She also mentioned fleeing her apartment and things turned violent. Neighbors reported witnessing Starren having a black eye and red marks on her throat. When a concerned neighbor offered to contact the police, Starren discouraged them, fearing it would worsen the situation, which is what oftentimes people are going to fear, and for good reason. Because
for good reason, exactly.
There's a lot of times nothing's done.
So stuck. That's so sad, because if I report it or if you report it, things could get worse.
You're really kind of taking a chance. I mean, the best thing is to get the hell out of there, number one, to a place where they do not know where you are and they cannot find you. But it is good to report it. Just don't rely on that reporting to be your ticket to be safe and away from this person. You have to do that yourself. The police are not going to. They don't. That's not part of their job. They can try and protect you, but they're not a full-service private security company either. So
And as we have discussed, that protective order is literally a piece of paper.
it doesn't mean shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean,
get away, let them know so that if he violates a protective order, they can arrest him and not just give him a slap on the wrist.
I mean, it's
That's
good
the
to
purpose.
have one.
Yeah.
But a guy like this, that wouldn't have stopped it.
You're not going to stop a killer.
No.
You have to evade a killer. And unfortunately, that's not what happened here. Police later discovered that Jorgenson had used Starren's EBT card in May to purchase cleaning supplies, including a bucket, plastic wrap, paper towels, garbage bags, liquid cleaner, latex gloves, and disinfectant wipes. Additionally, investigators uncovered evidence that Jorgenson had searched the internet for topics relating to decomposition. Residents of Jorgenson's apartment complex in Maplewood complained of a putrid odor reminiscent of decomposing animals emanating from his unit starting on May 16th. The building manager informed the police that the smell had permeated the entire building. When the manager and maintenance employee attempted to investigate the source of the stench, Jorgenson became verbally aggressive and prevented them from entering a bedroom from which the foul odor seemed to originate. Shortly after, witnesses observed Jorgenson carrying large black duffel bags out of the apartment, leading them to believe he may have been transporting a dead body. When authorities executed a search warrant at Jorgenson's apartment on May 25th, he locked himself inside and attempted to ignite a fire. According to the affidavit, when the SWAT team pushed in the door, he tried to attack them and take their guns. Seems like a lovely guy. Inside, investigators discovered a pool of blood in a closet where he had attempted to start a fire, a cracked television screen, and huge bloodstains on the living room floor, couch, kitchen counter were also discovered. So I see the dismembering worked out real well.
Yeah, he just did it all over the apartment, apparently.
Investigators determined that Jorgenson's phone GPS data revealed that he had visited a storage facility and rented a unit there earlier that month using his roommate's name. When investigators forced the unit open, they were met with a strong odor of decomposing flesh. According to the affidavit, Jorgenson may be linked to the disappearance of Fatna Zayavong, who's 33.
I'm not sure how to say that.
It went missing in July of 2021. It was reported missing in May of 2023. Jorgenson's being held on a $5 million bond. His next court appearance, August 21st.
So he did this to this woman, and then 2 years ago, another woman went missing, and she was just reported missing. So I'm going to guess maybe she was an ex-girlfriend. Maybe he got away with it once, thought he could do it again.
I think things like this don't always necessarily happen in a vacuum. Sometimes you have people that, this is kind of what they do. And sometimes they get caught, sometimes they don't. So there's, I'd say, probably a good possibility if this is a woman that was connected to him in some sort of relationship and she's missing and
for 2 years?
For 2 years, I'd say it's a good place to start.
And so he rents the storage unit in his roommate's name. Had his roommate not been home for a while? Because, like, I saw this apartment building, a photograph of it. It's big.
Yeah.
It's like multi-story apartment building. I don't know, 4 or 5 stories. It's a big apartment building. And it permeated the entire building. So his roommate, I'm going to guess, just hadn't been home for a while. Because if you walked into your apartment and you're like, dude, what is this?
It's a good question. I don't know the answer to that.
Did he help him?
Why are we, of all the things to do, why are holding on to the body in suitcases and duffel bags? What are you doing? Like, if you want to get caught, that's what you do. I just, I mean, number one, you can't get into the minds of these people. And if you do, sometimes you discover how insane and dumb they actually are.
And he thought he could rent a storage unit, and that would be a good place to hide her.
Why?
Like, there's a million places you could drive to in your pickup.
Pick a lake, pick a woods.
And it's Minnesota. There's lakes everywhere.
Yeah, it's the land of 10,000 lakes.
We don't want to give anybody ideas, but still, there was a million places you could hide her. And then you're going to take her to a storage unit. It stunk up your apartment. It's going to do the same at the storage unit. It is the weirdest. Like, he's such a horrible person that he would do this, and then he just thinks he can get away with it.
And he's that dumb too.
I want him gone forever.
Well, hopefully, is there the death penalty in Minnesota? I don't know if there is.
I don't know.
But
if there is, then her poor family, because that'll be drug out for a zillion years.
this is one of those cases where you just go, hey, I want everyone in the prison system to know who your new buddy is that's being checked in today. Here's what he did. And I'll let y'all do what you're all gonna do.
You're locked into the Hidden Killers podcast.
Want more? Start binging on all of our true crime podcasts right now through Apple Podcasts and get an ad-free experience when you sign up to be a True Crime Today Premium Plus member exclusively on Apple Podcasts.
More of the Hidden Killers podcast dropping soon.
Press subscribe now.